What you see here is the brand new Aprilia RS 457. Now, this motorcycle has just made its India debut ahead of India's first ever MotoGP round. So we have the bike with us today. We have got the first glimpse of this brand new Aprilia. It is going to be sold in the country later this year, but it's also going to be made right here in India. So let's see what's on offer with this motorcycle and what all can you expect from this brand new Aprilia Supersport. The first thing that draws you towards the RS 457 is of course its design, and I think it looks spectacular and stunning from all angles. As you can see, it is inspired by bigger Aprilias like the RS 660 and the RS V4, which is the original liter class bike from the company. And as you can see, the proportions are spot on. It doesn't look like a temporary work. It doesn't look like they've cut corners in every sense. So for me, I think this is going to be the biggest USP of the RS 457. The quality is also brilliant. It looks like a proper Aprilia. Everything you touch and feel, it looks brilliant. Of course, these are pre-production motorcycles, but then what we are seeing here, it is top quality. The other thing is the paint options. As you can see, this one gets the MotoGP inspired colors like the RSGP you have. So it looks brilliant in this red and black shade, and this is matte finish. So I think, again, going back to the quality, it is brilliant. It is top notch. Now, my personal favorite angle to this motorcycle is the rear three quarters. When you see this motorcycle from that angle, it looks absolutely phenomenal. It has that sport bike look absolutely nailed. And the tires, we are going to talk about them later. They're also quite fat. They look quite good on the motorcycle. So like I said, there is nothing to complain about in terms of design, in terms of aesthetics. Now, if you talk about the headlamps, they are also all LED projector lamps. And at the back also, you've got LED tail lamps. So again, like I said in the beginning, it doesn't seem like Aprilia has cut corners here. And this is going to be a big hit among sport bike lovers in the country, because I think in this segment, especially below 5 lakh rupees or 6 lakh rupees, there's no real super sport motorcycle in this segment. Of course, the Kawasaki 400 has been around for a while, but it kind of flies under the radar and it's been a little too long in the tooth. So I think the Aprilia brings a much needed new lease of life to the segment. And I think that's going to work in its favor in the larger scheme of things. Now, in terms of electronics, this motorcycle packs a 5-inch TFT display. It comes with switchable traction control. You've got 3 riding modes as well. The screen also looks quite nice. It looks like bigger Aprilias as well. And the overall quality and fit and finish is also phenomenal. Now, this motorcycle, in terms of the fit and finish, you can see the clip-on bars here. They look quite good and it gives you that real Aprilia feel. So I think in terms of quality and fit and finish also, you've got everything here. Now, if you come closer, you'll notice that the screen, it is a color screen. The visibility is quite good. You've got big, nice readouts. You've got the fuel gauge also. And it has everything very clearly laid out here. I think, to me personally, I have not ridden this motorcycle, but from what I'm seeing, it looks quite impressive. And the ergonomics, they're not really as sporty. It looks like the clip-on bars have been raised a little bit because to make it more friendly in Indian riding conditions, I think that's going to work for the RS 457 in the country, because it's not going to be a hardcore super sport motorcycle. It's going to be more like the RS 660 on that front. It's not a really track bike from what it looks like, the geometry for sure. And I think in terms of fit and finish, quality, in terms of equipment also, it has got everything covered. Now let's talk about the powertrain. It comes powered by a 457cc parallel twin engine. It's liquid cooled and it produces around 47 bhp and 48 Nm of torque. It comes paired to a 6-speed transmission that gets a quick shifter as well. So it has got all those sports bike bits covered on that front. Of course, we have not ridden this motorcycle right now, but it will compete with the likes of the KTM RC390, we've got the Ninja 400, and of course, then later this year, we're also expecting the Yamaha R3. So it's going to compete against all these motorcycles, but then it has got more power on offer for sure, and it hasn't got that sports bike look covered absolutely. If we talk about the suspension components, it gets upside down forks at the front, which are 41mm in diameter. You've got a monoshock at the back, and both the suspensions, they are preload adjustable. Now, the other good bit about this motorcycle is the tires, and they are locally manufactured, like the bike itself. So these are TVS Eurotalk tires. They are good tires, as we've experienced in the past, and you'll see a full-on review of those tires very soon on this channel. But these tires, like I said, these are locally made. You've got a 150 section at the back. You've got a 110 section at the front. So again, it kind of enhances the look of the motorcycle for sure. In terms of performance also, we are expecting it's not going to be a compromise. If you think this is a TVS, it's locally made, we are expecting it's not going to be a compromise for sure. Now, the other thing is the braking system. Now, up at the front, it gets a 320mm disc with the 4-piston caliper, and at the back, it gets a 220mm disc with a single caliper. So, braking, again, it's something we can only speculate. But from what it looks like, Aprilia has kind of loaded this motorcycle with all the top cycle components. And we are expecting it to have that sort of performance on the road as well, because it is a very interesting and a very promising proposition for sure. So the RS 457, we are not quite sure when it's going to go on sale in the Indian market, but we are expecting it to hit the showroom floors closer to the end of the year, that is December or maybe even January 2024. As for the pricing, again, it's not out, but given that it's made right here in India, it's going to be assembled at Piaggio Group's plant in Maharashtra, so we're expecting a very competitive price tag. Our guess is that it'll be priced at around 5 to 5.5 lakh ex-showroom, and that'll make it a very aggressive motorcycle on the market. There's no other motorcycle that's quite as new as this one, and I think it's going to compete against the Ninja 400. Like I said, the KTM is a little cheaper because the KTM is a single cylinder. The R3 is coming later this year. So again, the competition is going to be tough, but given what Aprilia is bringing to the table, I think this motorcycle has a clear shot to be the segment leader in the 400 or 500cc twin cylinder sport bike range.